Bush, I'm dropping out of college. Alright guys, this is a pretty serious video. I am indeed dropping out of college. This is not just clickbait for you to watch the video. I want to explain why I'm dropping out of college, and I want to share my 2 cents on university, higher education in general. So I'm going to divide this video in kind of 2 parts. First one, my history with college and why I'm dropping out and what the future looks like for me, and then explain a little bit how I feel about higher education, how my family feels about higher education, my friends and family. So let's get started. First of all, as you might know, I came to Arizona to go to Arizona State University, the biggest university in the United States, to study industrial design. And I did that for my freshman year. And as you might know, at ASU there's this program called Milestone, which means that at the end of your freshman year you're going to be evaluated before a decision's made if you pass on to the second year of that major or not. That happens with several majors such as architecture or industrial design, and that happened to me. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the ones chosen to keep studying that, which was a little frustrating because, you know, I came here for that, to become an industrial designer. And after a year of studying it really intensely and not making it, I was a little frustrated, but I believe that God has a plan for all of that. So when visiting my family back in Dubai, I tried to figure out what I would do next. And so the plan then was to change majors. I went into graphic information technology, which is basically kind of a mix of photography, video design, and all these kinds of things. And I was in that major for a year and a half until I figured out that I wasn't really learning anything because, you know, my parents own a design company and I've been involved in that for the longest time since I can remember, basically. So for that year and a half, I didn't really learn much relating to design, and so I decided to change majors again. This time I went into environmental design, still at ASU. I only did that for about half a semester. Environmental design basically incorporates all kinds of designs. It's basically the environment of design, I guess, where you study a little bit of graphic design, industrial design, web design, and whatnot. But again, I thought that this time I was going to learn a little bit more about the thinking process and how that works in design, and not so much about the actual clicking and Illustrator and all that kind of stuff. So I was a little disappointed, and at the end of that semester studying environmental design, I was trying to decide what to do next. My dad and I had a conversation where I basically realized that I wasn't learning anything there, and it was way too expensive for me to be in college to not learn anything. So started looking into options, and at that time I was already really interested in GCU, Grand Canyon University, because a lot of my friends were going there, and the fact that it is a Christian university appealed a lot to me. So I looked into that, and because I didn't want to study design anymore, you know, because at this point I realized that that wasn't helping me much, I decided to go into business, and I went into the major of entrepreneurial studies so that, you know, I could help Kingdom my business and somehow grow in that area. And that's the current semester, that's where we're at. I'm still finishing it. There's 2-3 weeks left. I want to finish all the courses I'm in, so that, you know, one day if I decide to come back to college, I have those credits to go off of. Anyway, being at GCU is great. I really love that college. It's awesome. The spirit is great. Everyone loves being there. I had no trouble studying whatsoever. I was learning a lot of stuff, but at the same time, you know, I'm using the best years of my life, so I should be learning to the best of my ability. And with talking with family and friends, I've realized that I could be learning a lot more with this time, you know. And so the idea came of me dropping out and working with my family, and, you know, investigating that a little bit more, it started to make more and more sense, because you realize that if you're working in the real world, which would be the case here, or will be the case here, you kind of experience things in a different way, and you learn as you go, just like I have done with my company Kingdom. And so I basically just figure out that that's the best way for me to learn, and that's what I'm gonna do from here on. So yeah, I'll be working for Slash here in the US. I'm gonna be going back and forth between Dubai and here to go there to get training and come back and implement that in this area of the world. My sister will be joining me. She'll be quitting school to do the same, and we're super excited for this new phase of our lives that kind of incorporates the whole college experience for me. I'll be talking a little bit more on what I'm going to do at Slash and how that's going to go, since that's going to be such a big part of my life. I'll obviously be making videos while involved in that. Now jumping into the second part of this video, how do I feel about college, higher education in general, and those that surround me, what they think about it. First of all, my dad and I share a very similar view on this. My dad didn't go to college, he didn't finish high school, and he's very successful in what he does. It just wasn't the best way for him to learn. He learned through books and colleagues and just experience in general, and he's very good at what he does today. My mom, on the other hand, she did go to college. She has 2 undergrad degrees. She first majored in mechanical engineering and then later in life got a degree in architecture. Now she works as an interior design at the family company, which doesn't really have to do with those other 2, but she loves it. Anyway, jumping into the college aspect of things. The fact is that 17, 18-year-olds are given a choice of what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. Most of them don't even know the answer to that question, and they just jump into something that someone told them to do, so their parents influenced them on, and might not even end up being what they're going to do or something that they're even remotely passionate about. I've personally been blessed with the opportunity to come to college and figure out if that was the best way for me to learn. I have nothing against universities. I had a great time at ASU, GCU, and learned a lot. The fact is that no matter the reason that you go to college, you'll probably get something out of it. You'll meet great people, you'll meet great professors that will share with you their experiences out in the real world and definitely help you grow and get into that kind of thing. But maybe for other people, it's just easier, or it's better to jump into the working world, get a low income job in whatever field you're interested in and go from there. Of course, I couldn't make this video without mentioning Steve Jobs, being an idol of mine. He did not finish college. He went to college, but he didn't finish it. The fact is that you're just making 17-year-olds make a decision that they're not capable of. I actually did know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an industrial designer. I just knew I wanted to be an industrial designer. But apparently that's not what I'm going to be. Things change, and this is where I'm at right now. I want to share with you a conversation that I had with a friend of the family, Alessandro, where he gave me some very interesting points on higher education. It's not biased to any side, it just explains very well what higher education means these days. And he starts off by talking about Steve Jobs in a seminal commencement address that he did about connecting the dots, where he said that there's no way of saying that attending or not attending university will actually help you in your career or life. However, there's always something to be learned if you keep your mind open and follow your talents and passions. He used the example of when he went to college, where he just chose random classes and didn't really get a major. Point being that no matter what you learn, it won't be useless, especially if you're passionate about it, and you will later in life use it for something. There definitely are a bunch of professions like lawyers, certified accountants, doctors, engineers, where you have to go to college to get a degree to work in that field. If you see yourself working in one of those careers, make the most out of every class that you go into. Take something out of it, since you have to be in it. If you are in one of those majors and realize that that's not your path, that's okay. Change majors, change universities, drop out of college. Do whatever you feel it's better for you. What's important is that no matter where you learn, let there be classrooms, books in a library, online, YouTube, classes, online, all that kind of stuff. You'll be learning throughout all your adult life. The notion that 18 to 20 years of learning, from 4 to 5 until you're 23, 24, and then 40 years of career until you're 65 and retire is completely obsolete. The world keeps changing at an ever increasing pace. We need to never stop learning if you want to be able to understand and manage that change. Alessandro said something very interesting, where the basic idea of higher education, college, university, all that kind of stuff, will start getting paired and partially replaced with experimental education or just informal education in general. The responsibility of learning will become more and more an individual one, like what happens today with parents forcing their children to go to university, just like everyone does, and so must you. Of course, like everything in life, there's no way to answer the question, should I attend or not attend university? Should I drop out of college? Alessandro left me with two very good questions that I think you should think about a little bit. Where the first one is, what are your passions and talents? Second one being, how can you develop, increase, and leverage them in order to be a productive and fulfilled individual? Basically, I would just say that you should try to find out what the best option for you is, what the best way to learn is, what you actually want to do, and how to approach that. Let that be college, YouTube, whatever it is. I cannot stress this enough, even though it sounds cliche. Follow your passions and just do what you love. If you think that it's something that it's not going to pay you, well, you might be wrong, because if you really love it and you work hard at it, you will end up being paid and just making a career out of it. Anyway, that's my and my family and friends 2 cents on the matter. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took something out of it. Please leave some comments with some questions. I would love to answer those in another video. As always, Jesus does love you. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. Again, make some comments just so we can get some conversation starting. Share this video so that all your friends can see it, and I'll see you next time.